All right, guys. So hello, good evening. Thank you guys for getting on tonight. I'm super excited as usual, as I am every day, because we are continuing to blow things out the water. We're continuing to be successful with everything we're doing. We're blowing up with different the promotions that's out, the different new product that done came out. I had 2 cups today. And just so much. So we want to just continue on this path we on right now with the motivate, the inspiration, continuing the flow, the momentum. And we want to bring on somebody else with y'all so y'all can hear from. And she's a great person. Like, I done already seen her on a ton of different Zooms. I done listened to her a ton of times. I've seen that, she's went diamond, and then I'm like, wait a minute, diamond again? What? And I had to look, I'm like, oh, you got 2.0 diamond too. Okay. So, and I know she's only been with the company for a short time. So I'm gonna let her tell you guys a bit about her story, a bit about just the industry in general. And then, we're gonna close out with some, just a few things about her, and then some closing tips so we can finish out this month strong. So let's welcome on Miss CEO Ponya Dodson. Thank you so much for taking time out to get on tonight.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. My internet sucks where I am, so I hope you can hear me. If not, just let me know. But I am so honored, I really am, to be on this call with you on tonight, Miss Triple Diamond, right? Anytime I have the opportunity to share, I'm excited, right? We've been talking back and forth. I love you as well. I love your energy. I love what you're doing with your team and everything. And congratulations on all of your success. And everyone that's on here, as she said, my name is Ponya Dodson, but I'm known to social media as CEO P Dodson. And guys, listen, it works for me is like second to none. I got to say that. But it's a little bit different. My story is a little bit different from the most that you actually hear, right? Because it works for me. It didn't start because of the money. Normally talk about the $300 to $500, right? I've been in this industry now going on 7 years. And actually, I was in another opportunity before I came over here. I'd actually literally helped launch a new company. And so when I got here, it was more so not the money, it was the feeling, right? I call it a divine alignment, a divine connection, because where I was, it was not about the money. Yes, when I came, before I left, I was still making money, but you got to understand that things have to be so much bigger than money, right? And so where I was no longer happy. I was no longer satisfied. I felt like I did not fit in. So I began to pray. I'm like, okay, God, I love what I do, but this does not no longer fit for me, right? But health and wellness and helping other people, that's what I do. And so I said, okay, God, what am I going to do? I can't stay stuck. I can't stay stuck, right? And so I went online and I saw a video. My sponsor, who is Jared Wilkins, he had posted a video. Was not about It Works at all. But when I saw the video, something he said resonated with me. So what did I do? I hopped in his inbox and I asked him the question, why it works, right? Now, mind you, fast forward, I had already worked with Jared before in another opportunity. We were not on the same team, but I knew him from then. I knew his success. I knew of his wife's success, right? Great motivational speakers, all of that. But we always kept in touch, right? So when he told me why it works, what he actually did, he allowed me to see it. He sent me a video. It was a video of Mark and Cindy Pentecost, and they began to share about It Works. And what caught me were the 3 things. Guys, you guys already know what it is, right? Faith-based. One thing about me, I am unapologetic a Jesus freak. I love the Lord. He heard my cry, right? So when I saw that and I knew the company was founded off that, I said, oh my God, that's amazing, right? And then the second thing was family owned. Guys, I'm all about my family, my husband, my mother, my kids, they're everything to me. And when I talked about the business, we have another business that's family owned, a family business. And then when they talked about being debt free, I said, okay, that's what our goal, that's what we're working on. So I connected instantly with the vision of the company. So you got to understand, guys, because it got to be past the money. And I'm saying that for a reason, because if you're just doing something intentionally for the money, what happens when you have a slow day? What happens when you have a slow week? What happens when you have a slow month? You want to quit. right? See, I'm already kind of training, I'm throwing nuggets out there already as I'm telling you my story, right? So you begin to want to quit, but when your why is so much bigger and your why is actually connected to your destiny, it doesn't matter if you have a slow week. It doesn't matter if you have a slow day or a slow month. You're going to keep and continue on. So guys, my why is so amazing and it's so huge. It's so much bigger than me, because usually when your why, you have a why, it's connected to somebody else, right? Your why is not always just for you. My why for being here is connected to my mother. I'm the only child. So I got to make sure my mother's straight, right? To try to give back just a portion of what she sacrificed for me. For my children, I have 3 grown sons. I want them to understand and see parents that are successful, right? That they can do it. They don't have to be a statistic, right? My why is for my husband to understand and know that he has a Proverbs 31 woman. It is what it is, right? And then my why is for my team, because I had a lot of people that came with me from the other opportunity. No, I didn't ask them to come, but they believed in me. So I had to show them quickly that if you're coming over here, we got to show that it does work. So that's why my journey went a little bit different when I first got started, right? We got started in November 2020, guys. I'm still a baby over here. That's the way I look at it, right? But in December, we went ruby. In January, we went emerald. In March, we went diamond. And then in May, my husband's leg went diamond. So guys, when I tell you it works, it's working, it is definitely working for me. And I love where I am, because now I stress and I stress and I stress. It's not just about the money. Now the money's good, but it's not just about the money. It's about the relationships, the connections, the personal development. You're getting so much more. Clarissa, you better take over, because I'll keep going. Okay, I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah, that'll work if I turn that mute off. I was loving it though. I mean, I'm just sitting here like, whew. I know Rusty got something to say because he done already been texting me like, girl, she started off on the ball. So go ahead, Rusty.
Well, I've been here for 20 years full time with Mark, and Mark is my sponsor. And for you to come out and recognize right out of the gate, faith-based, family-owned, debt-free, and if you want to get debt-free, how you gonna get? You got to be with people who are debt-free. You got to have that like-mindedness, but you have to have the discernment to pick up on it right away. And when it's time for you to make a move, the reason most people stay stuck is you're not willing to make a move. And the reason you're not willing to make a move because you listen to all those broke people that are in debt. And you got people that's going to try to talk you out of it. And I'm going somewhere with the story. You got to have people that's going to try to talk you out of what you're doing because they don't want you to get ahead of it. And most of that's centered around some of our families. And that's a whole big long Zoom by itself. But you know what? They don't want you to get ahead, but they're not willing to support you. They're not willing to go to the next level with you. They want to stay. Some people would rather live in literal hell than to make a change, to go up, to step up and step out. And when you make up your mind that I'm going to go do it, you put your blinders on. It's kind of like a radio. If you start talking negative to me, I can look at you, but I turned you off a while ago. I don't want to hear it. You're not going to park your limited liabilities in my head. And therefore, I don't have any space up here for that. All I want to go is do the next level. And here's how you're going to become successful. And she said it, and everything she just said. And it is an honor to finally meet you. I've heard so much about you. Is when you make up your mind to go to the next level, you always have to take the like-minded people with you. And along the way, I've been with my wife for 43 years for a particular reason. I met her in 1979. I've never even dated another little girl. It's the only one. She was the one I knew as soon as I saw her. She was mine. I had to beat on her mama's door 4 days in a row to ask if I could see her. And finally, I said, I got the rest of my life to beat the paint off the side of your house. I will be here every day. Consistency, showing up and knowing what you want. And see, that's where that why is connected. And I love the part you taking care of you talked to your mother, she sacrificed for you, and that particular why, you're connected to someone else. The why can never be about you nor your couple dollars. It won't never work. You'll get out of the honeymoon season fast. How do you stay in the honeymoon season with the same little girl for 43 years? Oh, we've had it rough. I wrote a best-selling book about rough. How do you stay with the same company for 20 years and you don't take the money to walk away? You just don't. This product line worked for me. My story is based on the products that saved my life, and I'm still here. Why? Because I'm still excited about my journey for my health. But my wife's connected to somebody else. It's those two little girls that I left corporate America over because of Mark Pentecost Shared a Dream. And now they're grown little girls and they're still daddy's little girls. But my why got connected to them. And I was so passionate about my why being connected to my little girls that I was willing to put it all on the line. We put it all on the line. See, if you can put it on the line for somebody else every single day, you know what happens? You show up, you get paid. But see, to me, that's participating in modern day slavery. And that is a choice. And when you make up your mind, you will no longer lease my time because that's all I have. I'm going to break the lease with all you people. And guess what? My why was bigger. Those two to here. I was a senior vice president for a major bank and worked my way up very hard to get there. And he told me I could not fly out 3 hours late to see my two little girls get their awards. And this year I'd missed everything because I was chasing money because, oh, I'm doing it for my family. I was like all the other broke people in the herd participating in modern day slavery. And you know what? When he told me that, I was looking at them. I said, babies, y'all daddy's why? Y'all worth it. This is the last time I'm gonna miss something in the rest of your life. But see, I too was praying. When God presents you an opportunity, you have to seize it and take responsibility for it. When you take responsibility for your opportunity, you know what begins to happen? When you go in and get in action, you put in a preventative measure, but you get in action, God starts to rain the blessings on you because of the action. Just because you had a slow day, slow month, I love the point that no, my why is much bigger. You tell me one thing, if you won't go die for your children, what will you really die for? If you mess with them two little girls of mine, the first thing they will say, Daddy, they know Dad, Papa Bear's on the way, and he'll probably get some other of his buddies on the way to come and get you to figure it all out. But see, I appreciate the thing that you've seen everything that we've worked for. And like when we talked to Dr. Nastif about bringing the skincare line on, you know what he told us? Why do you want to come here with us? It is in the culture in which we created all these particular years by showing up every single day, the good, the bad, the ugly, the software crashes, the product shortages, all the other stuff we went through along the way. Because you know why we stuck with it all these years? It's because I knew she was coming. One day somebody like the CEO would show up and we're going to have a great opportunity here for like-minded people that want to take your life to the next level because your why is attached to something that's more important than what you are. Does that make sense? So go ahead, Ms. Dodson, take it away.
So tell me something in reference to your growth within the last since November with the company. I mean, I know you reached each position in that time frame allowed that was able to get you every bonus in between time. So on that journey, what was going on in your head to make you accomplish that? Like, what pushed you to get that done in this time frames you did?
What actually pushed me? It goes back to my why. It goes right back. You know, we hear that a whole lot. What is your why? What is your why? But you have to know your why. If you don't, you're just doing something. You're just going in circles, right? And that's one thing I didn't want to do. You know, for me to leave and walk away from what I walked away from and to come here, I couldn't come here to play. First and foremost, right? That was my thing because I was giving up an income to come here, right? And so with that being said, plus I was bringing people that believed in me, right? So I couldn't come over here and just not do anything and just sit still. No, I couldn't. So when I got over here and what I saw, the first thing I saw what they talked about was diamond, right? I just kept hearing diamond. I'm like, okay, let me see what I need to do to go diamond, right? And would I say it was an easy all the way test? No, because you're going to have hurdles in the road. You're going to have life to happen, right? You're going to have people to quit. You're going to have people that's going to tell you no. That's going to happen. But what I had to do, one thing about me, I just have this faith. I'm this faith girl that I just believe that I'm like superwoman because I got a super God. Unapologetically, I'm a church girl. So I have a super God. And I know that if I do the natural, he's going to put his super on top of my natural. We're going to do this thing together. You know, they say faith without works is dead. You can faith it all day long. But at the end of the day, you got to put the work in. So I just went to work and I said that I put my goal up. I put my goal up day one. I hadn't hit nothing, but I put my goal up day one and said what I wanted to achieve. I started to speak it because if you can't speak it, but not only speak it, I began to see it. I had to see myself going diamond. I had to see it because if you don't see it before you see it, you will never see it. So I began to see it. I began to put it up. Jared had us put this environment, this environment all the way around where you're posting. I did that. I said I was going to hit it by this certain day. And I did that, right? And it's just all about, it got to be your belief. It's all about, people say, do you believe? Do you really believe? You have to believe in what you're doing. You have to believe in the products. You got to believe in the company. You got to believe in It Works vision. You got to believe in yourself, because we can speak into your life all day long. We can see something that's in you all day long, but until you believe it, you're not going to walk into it. But until you believe it, you're not going to manifest it. So that's what I did. I simply just believed it. And also I had to get all the negativity away from me. Right? The negative people, as Rusty talked about, the naysayers. You're going to have naysayers in everything. You have naysayers in life, period. Whether you're doing good or whether you're doing bad, doesn't matter. Somebody's going to have something to say. So I couldn't listen to that. I had to put my blinders on and get laser being focused on what my goal was. Did I have hurdles? Yes. Did I have bumps in the road? Yes. When they say new levels, new devils, that is so true. And things begin to happen, right? But I said, you know what? This is my goal. This is what I'm going to do. No matter what happens, no matter who comes, no matter who goes, no matter what happens or goes on, I got to hit my goal. It's up to me if it's to be. So when that being said, that's what got me through. My faith, my believing, my circle. I don't have a circle. I have a dot. My dots got me through, and that's what I did. And I just went for it. And then, like I said, to come back from my husband's leg, I just told him, this is what we're getting ready to do. And we went to work once again and made it happen.
Now, towards going forth on that same topic that you just mentioned, in reference to putting that goal out there and going towards it, what would you say for people that are maybe stuck, or for those that are going to that level, but maybe this short from making it happen? What would you say to them in a little bit more depth? Because I hope that was enough for them, but some may need a little bit more of a spanking.
Okay. You give me permission. No, I'm just playing. No, but as far as with my team, they know I love them, but I do, like you said, spanking, I do that as well. So when they're so close, I'm like, okay, you're close, no excuses. What are we going to do? We have huddles, right? And then whatever you're doing, do more of. Sometimes you have to change up and you have to pivot, right? To try something different. There's different things that we talk about, like especially now it's end of month. We talk about, certain things. We talk about, the host post. You're definitely going to hear that I love host to post. You're going to talk about that. You're going to talk about the follow-ups, right? Posting more on your stories, posting more on your page, reaching out to other people, putting out the volume text, when you're doing the one-time volume. There's various things you can do. And the thing about it, if you're so close, you just got to make sure, for one, that you really want it. Because I've seen people that have been so close and they really didn't want it. You're just a few hundred away and you give up. You give up, right? No, if you really want it, we're going to make this happen. And we got to work together as a team. That's one thing. Teamwork makes the dream work, and that's real. You can't do it by yourself. You gotta have a team that's willing to help and assist with what you need. And that's one thing. I am a helper by nature. And that's one thing that our team, we do. We rally together. If somebody's close, okay, we're going to help you. But now we're not going to give it to you. No. But we're going to help you to get to where you need to go. So that's one thing. Just do more. If you're done it this time, increase what you've already done. Go a little bit harder. Lose a little sleep. If you're that close, lose a little sleep. Cut the television off. Don't be on social media unless you're doing something productive, right? Because we can get caught up doing this, scrolling, right? It's easy to happen. All this social media, it's easy to happen. We just got to put the extra work in to go the extra mile to hit that goal. And if we do that, if you're serious, it can happen, guys. I'm telling you, let me tell you, for me, for going diamond, the first time, guys, it's crazy. We made that decision. Hear me, and I'm so serious. Some of my teammates are on here. They'll tell you. We made this decision 24 hours before closeout. So we actually went diamond. We made the decision. We were like maybe 4,000 points away. And we were like, yes, I kid you not. And I was like, this is what we're going to do. My team got together. We went to work. It was no sleep. And you have a team that got your back, guys. In less than 24 hours, we made it happen. So I'm telling you, this is what, the 28th, 29th? We still got time. We're still listen, it's not over. It is not over. And I'm talking too much. I'm sorry. But I mean, it gets to a point sometimes that when we start to get to the end of the month and we have not hit our goal yet, we'll give up. Oh, we only got 3 days left. I'm not going to hit. How do you know? I am a living testimony that if you're serious about that thing and you go hard and you pray about it and you believe God, because God can do anything but fail, and you go to work, it can have testimony. I didn't know where these 4,000 points were going to come from, but God knew. I just put it out there and started to speak it. So you got to worry about what you're speaking. What are you speaking? Are you speaking it's not going to work? Are you speaking it's not going to happen? Are you speaking lack? Are you speaking I can't do it? If you're speaking that, you can't. You can't. But if you're speaking, I don't know how it's going to happen, God, but I give it to you. Listen, team, I don't know what we're going to do, but we're finna do this. And you get together, y'all, it can happen. It can happen. Back to you, Rusty. I'm sorry.
Oh, I love it. Don't stop now. You got me excited. Hey, you made me want to sign up all over again. You know, when we first started, I left the bank. I'd never done direct sales before. I didn't know anything about it. But when I quit that $550,000 a year job, and I just said, I see y'all fired. I'm gone. I come home with nothing and got started. I called Mark. I went in my office. I said, look, I'm going to do this thing. He said, okay, good. I'm glad to have you. I said, but I'm going to do it full time. He said, explain full time. I said, well, I quit the bank this morning. It's me and you now. He said, I said, no, I'm for real. My wife's going to kill me. She's going to collect the insurance. She's mad. I had never seen her. I didn't realize she had a vocabulary after all these years. I didn't realize she spoke those kind of languages. So we need to get started. You know how many no's I got the first day? 10 no's right after. You crazy. Well, when you make it happen, let us call us. The last 6 people I called that evening said yes. 28 days later, we hit double done and we built an organization of 635 people in team development. And that's turned into multi millions of dollars of business every month and growing. I'm more excited today than I've ever been. My why is stronger than it ever has. You know why? Because I see the lives that it changed by getting serious and not quitting and run it right up to, you mean the month don't end until 25th? No, it don't end until 25th. It ends at 12:01 midnight Central Time. That means I played football a lot of years, and you just didn't run to the goal and slow down on the team. No, you ran through the goal, and you didn't stop till you heard the whistles blow. And when you make up your mind that your why is that strong and you're going to go after it and you're going to make a bunch of freaking excuses. And by the way, my father was a minister my whole life, 50 years before he died. But you have to run through that particular goal and make up your mind. I'm not going to make excuses. See, excuses is nothing but more than a satanic ritual that you procrastinate every single day. It's nothing but a cancer of the mind. And it's what's holding you back. You're your worst enemy. And because we've not put any preventative measures in place, and see, this is all about the action. When you take the necessary action, you're going to get a lot of no's. But some of those no's, as they saw it, well, we knew you could do it. All these years later, I got people joining Carissa knows as much about my business as I do. The first of the week, a lot of people I just follow up. How you doing? Great day. Hope you have an amazing day. Every third or fourth day, I'm following up. Like 13 or 14 customers on Monday, 2 distributors, 3 or 4 more yesterday, 3 or 4 more today. Follow up. But they know what? One thing they're going to do when you don't quit. When you don't quit like most people do, you become unpredictable. Most of you are so predictable, we almost in a conversation know what you're going to say next. And all you're doing when you say, well, I'm going to try it. No, you just gave yourself a way out. That means, no, I ain't going to do it. It's going to be too hard. I'd rather watch whatever's on TV anymore. And I would rather watch some of that stuff and fill my mind full of limited liabilities. It puts limitations on my life. And I'm going to promise you, you cut that mess out. You start self-developing and make up your mind. We going to do it. And I want to ask all of you, who in your family or do you want to be the one in your family that done it first? Done it first. I'm going to be the first one. Well, here's proof positive that this works. We made our first $1 million in 42 months with Mr. Pentecost. I've seen people make $1 million and find 40 reasons they need to quit. You know what? They're still broke minded and still making excuses, and they thought they had arrived. See, the first $1 million, I'm not telling you that to brag. It wasn't the $1 million that had me excited. It's who I became in the process of making the first million. It's the people that we cultivated is the reason I'm here I'm starting my 20th year next month, and I'm gonna be on the islands with Mr. Pentecost. It's who you become, but it's who you impact along the way. It ain't even about the money. It's because you made a conscious, not an emotional decision. You made a conscious decision to step up and step out and be the first, and not because you wanted to be the first, because I'm taking some people with me. You will have people quit along the way. And just when you think you've seen everybody got thing, what? They did what? They lost their vision because they allowed somebody to what? They stopped working. They stopped showing up because they were so used to modern day slavery of signing that check for $3,000 or $4,000 a month and agreeing that that's all you're worth. Once they hit it, whatever way they hit it, you know what? That's why I always say, build it tight, build it right. We do not do inflation here. Anybody can live a showboat life on a credit card. But if you can't pay for it twice, don't buy it. I don't buy it. If I can't pay for what I'm after twice already, I don't need it. I don't need some celebrity to tell me how I need to spend my money so I can get in debt to somebody else. No, I'm in the business of earning interest. I invest my time and I'm going to earn on my fruit of my labor. I ain't paying nobody no interest. No, you're paying me. And you better be paying me some double digits every year or I'll fire you. Don't have any problem with that. And you know, when you make up your mind that you're worth it, this little girl that's been with me for 43 years, when I was dying, laying here in this house, and they said, you got 6 months to live. And she was doing things for me that you do for a baby, because I was almost an invalid at that point. It Works Global continued to pay me every month, and it grew every month without me being able to be present. And see, my wife's stronger today than it's ever been. And I'm going to tell you why. Something you said a while ago. Ms. Dawson, see, we knew you were coming. I didn't know who you were, when you'd be here, but I knew you was going to show up. My grandfather fought in the Second World War under General Patton, and this team has heard it before. And I'm the firstborn, fourth generation. And at 5 years old, he's showing me all these medals I now possess, and they're in my safe, somewhere in this house. And I said, how'd you get them? And he was talking about unconditional love and how it was to be very disciplined, and how you had to make the bed and had your shoes shine and your buckle shine. And he was proud of it. And he got to the last 3 medals. And I said, well, how'd you get those? And he got real dry on me. I said, no, I'm the firstborn. You said that they were going to be mine. Because I had to kill people. I had to put it really all on the line. And then he went through each of those 3 medals, how he got it. And now I'm confused as I can be. A while ago, we was talking about unconditional love and taking pride in yourself and being the very best. He said, for the love of your grandmother, the love of your father, I knew you were coming one day. And I'm going to tell you, I'm working harder than I ever have with a big old team around the world. My oldest little girl is going to get married this year. I had all sisters and I had daughters. God, I love those girls to death. They are my life. I know my grandson's coming. He's coming. Give me about 24 months. He's coming. And we're going to work harder now, because I'm going to set that boy up in life. And my daughter told me this afternoon while we was playing in the pool. She said, Daddy, what if it's a little girl? I said, I know how to spoil little girls, but my grandson is coming. And I said that we're going to work harder, smarter, and we're going to create and leave a generational legacy that's legendary. They're going to be talking about what we did and why we done it, and manning up and woman up the way we live our life now. We've been a full-time family for 20 years. I don't plan on changing tomorrow. And I want him his birthright comes into a full-time family that takes the responsibility that those whys have been well defined. And until you define who you are, what you are, where you're going, and who you're doing it for, you'll just be a part-time. This will be a hobby. And you wonder why you keep making a hobby pay, because you just keep playing with a hobby. But the day you get real about this thing, there's mega millions of dollars to be made here. So I want to ask you, which one of you want to be the first one in your family? Now, you're going to go through some struggles. You're going to go through some hard hits and some knocks and knockdowns. You can't play on the first string team. And if you're coming off the field with a uniform just as clean as you went on the field, you ain't doing nothing. You're just making excuses. Well, I got to do this. And well, if it wasn't for that, what the hell with all of that? When you make up your mind, I'm coming in and say, you go, if you get in a fight with me, I am a warrior. I will get up before you, I'll go to bed after you, and I'll outwork you every single day. And if you beat my rear end today, I'll be sitting on the hood of your car in the morning. You can't go nowhere till we do it again. You've got to have that mindset to break free. This is the greatest nation on planet Earth. I've traveled all over the world in banking and with Mark. I've seen a lot of things in my life. This is the greatest, can nothing stop you in this country from doing anything you want to except you. It has been proven on this Zoom tonight. When you make up your mind in the last hours, we're going to do it. I don't know where it's coming from. I too am a man of faith. I have the privilege of praying with the Pentecost family every single day, every morning, every day, without failure for the 20, going into 20 years. They are who they say they are. They're very real people. I have a relationship outside of business with the Pentecost family. They're the most giving, lovingest bunch of people, but they're the strongest, hardest coaching, making you pull out the best in you, living up to your full potential that they can possibly be. So if you want to go to the next level and you're ready to go to play on the first string team, make up your mind you deserve it. Make up your mind this is what we're going to do. And just go do it. See, anybody can tell us what you're going to do. Just do it. If you're going to get you 5 customers by tomorrow to get you $100, just do it. Don't tell me what you're going to do. Just go do it. At 20 years later, Carissa, is it true? 20 years later, if the old guy, the longest guy in the whole, I've been here longer than everybody except for Mark. If I can still do it 20 years later and have that kind of passion and vigor and excitement about changing lives, shame on you if you can't do it. It's just that you can't, it's just you ain't.
That's right.
Make up your mind. It's so many things are so much more important. Oh, and stop, ladies, stop blaming your kids for why you can't get stuff done. Stop blaming them for why you can't and start using them as a reason why you can. That's all I done. And you know what? I got you a good one. I met the principal today. I hadn't seen him in a long time where we support the Boosters Club. My daughters are beyond graduating. He said, you remember the time you showed up at my office and you was writing your daughters out to go to Paris? I said, yes, sir, I sure do. He said, remember that little teacher said that she couldn't approve it? I said, I sure do. So I want to tell you this. Every time I left the country building this business, I wrote my children out of school and they got to go with me. So the little teacher told me she couldn't write her out because of whatever. And they was talking about France. And we just had been building a team over there. I said, young lady, you ever been to France? She said, no. I said, well, how can you effectively teach my children about some place you've never been out of a book? I'm fixing them to take over to experience the culture. You know why I'm going to have them experience the culture? I do business there. And one day these little girls are going to be running my operation. I'm setting them up to win now. She said, it's not fair for all the other kids. I said, well, I can't help all the other kids' parents choose to do whatever. I made a choice to do something different. I'm leaving legendary legacy to these little girls. And one day they're going to run this billion-dollar operation I got. Now, I can't help about the rest of them, but we're going to add more value to people around the world. And you ever can add that little curriculum book? And 2 weeks later, she resigned. She just couldn't handle it. And I didn't tell you that to just, that's because they're limited thinking, limited liability thinking is that can't happen. There was a time in my life I didn't believe it could happen either. But you know what? When I made up my mind I was going to be the first, that's when it started to happen, Carissa.
Exactly. Whew. Y'all killing me on the Zoom today in a good way. Ponya, I got another question for you. So your next rank to go towards is double diamond, which technically isn't far off considering you just need 1 leg diamond, 1 leg emerald, and a qualified leg, which is, the 3rd leg. What's the plan towards getting that accomplished?
We already in the works on that. The plan is to, like I said, increase what we've already done, right? Keep recruiting, of course, because my now mentor, Cami, has put another goal on me. So look, I'm working a little bit extra, but no, just to increase what we've already done, because I'm so grateful that since we hit diamond, we're still at diamond, right? And that alone, like that shows even me that if I can do this, I can go to the next step, right? So that's what we're working on now. We have everything in place. We have everything in plan. So I'm still recruiting. That does not stop. I'm still signing up loyal customers. That does not stop, right? This is something we're ongoing doing. So we're going to increase like ×2 what we've already been doing, and just like I said, speak it. We're going to speak it as my team. They already know what our goal is. We've already set that in place. So we're speaking it, we're working toward it. We have the goals mapped out. We're charting, we're doing everything that we need to do to make that happen. So I'm excited. I can't wait because I know once my leg goes, you know, we got to take the husband's leg, right? So, so I'm excited about that, about the next elevation. But like I said, mostly I'm excited because when we elevate, our team elevates, right? It's a team thing. I can't go here without my team coming up with me. So that's the main thing, making sure our team hits their goals, accomplish their goals, keeps their ranks and everything else. So it's just a team effort.
I was definitely about to ask that because I know in every network marketing company is not the same. Everyone is not the same at all. Some you're able to accomplish goals based off your own efforts, and everyone else can just stay at that level they're at. And the fact that this company operates differently, where we all work together as a team to accomplish goals, get to the next level, it was different for me, where in a good way, I love that because it was a team effort. I wasn't just sitting at the top by myself while everybody else is sitting at the bottom. So you being in the industry for a while to understand that, what was that like for you switching over to this type of what's the word, compensation plan structure?
It is very different over here from what I'm used to. And I told people when I first got here, I had to unlearn to learn, right? And you know how you have the loyal customers for the 90 days? I was a 90-day DT. So I was like learning seriously, I was in my team, and the team that came, they already knew and they understood because they knew what I had to learn. I learned it so I can share it with them, right? So I was like in extensive training mode when I first got here. And I had to because it was so different. The comp plan is so different. You know, everything was totally different over here. And even the fact of that, how people, I'm gonna be honest, I'm very transparent, how people literally want to see you win and go to the next level, and how you have people like the call that we're doing right now. I am not on your team, right? You know, but I love that. And then when we have our calls, we have people that are nowhere connected in the upline, downline, none of that, but they want you to win and they share genuinely tips. That's something I didn't get. And I've been in this industry, like I said, almost 7 years. That's something I didn't get there. People will not tell you or actually want to help you. Or when you begin to start to elevate, they start to try to pull you down. And so over here, listen, Rusty, I've been through it all, right? And so over here, no, people are calling you from other teams. I see you doing this. I see you doing this. Okay, maybe if you do this right here, maybe this, I love it. When I say I love it, that's one thing that I love. When I say love, it works. I love it works because people really, guys, if y'all tap in, people really want to see you win. You know, and that's something that since I've been in the industry, I didn't see that. So when I got here, I saw that it was like God kept giving me confirmation after confirmation after confirmation. And then when Cammie and I had our first call, the things that she shared, y'all know Cammie, we all love her. She's just amazing. And she pours and she she cares. You know, she genuinely cares. And that's something that stuck with me. So like I said, it's all about working together as a team. And I'm always been the person to help my team any way that I can. But here, you want to help even more, right? Because you know that everything goes together. You need this to do this. You need this to do this. So I tell my team, if you help your people get to what they want by default, you're going to get what you want.
Hey, can I piggyback on that?
Yes.
When we left the bank and we launched with Mark, I said we have to help upline, downline, sideline, and cross line. The more successful we all are, the more solvency it creates in the opportunity. We all have to win, not just a leg or a team, a bunch of greedy people over here. It is all stuck in their head because they like to be showboaters and wear the suit without the work ethic. So whatever we can do to help your team, we're just a message away or phone call away. We're 100% all in. That's how we run our organization, and that's how we run this company. Or Mark runs this company. We're all in this together. And when that creates solvency for this opportunity, the day y'all's children start signing up and they start coming after it, that has created a community of unified people. You can never beat a unified people. You can't, because now it becomes family. That's where you start to create the legendary legacies.
Exactly. I agree. I mean, it's just exciting to be able to see so many people grow within the company, so many people see the success, you know, new people coming in, being able to promote, being able to see the vision even at an early point in time. That's something that we all strive for, is to have people see, because, you know, us being in for me 9.5, Rusty for 20, we see it, we caught it. I mean, it took me about a year to catch it, but you know, everyone catches it in their own time based off what they see that they can relate to. So I hope all of you guys that weren't here paying attention and catching notes from this, different tips and things that you can take away from it, because everyone is able to be successful. It's just going to take you being able to make that decision and be ready to go towards it. Me personally, I've been watching the Olympics every day as inspiration. It plays in the background. I'm in it. And because I'm very competitive, I'm able to pay attention to that. And I utilize things that I learned from it as skills towards me to help me with my business, as far as us not giving up at the last second and quitting at 10 p.m. when you still got 3 more hours to go, because we Eastern time. We got the you know, extra hour, all Central people. So we're able to still go through that finish line, and being able to watch different people in the Olympics be able to just think they got it at the last second and somebody else just swoop on in. That type of stuff resonate with me, and it shows me in the same line with business, where you don't give up early, because you never know what can happen at that last second. You don't know if that customer that you've been waiting to get say, "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I fell asleep. I'm ready to do it now." And guess what happened? Your butt done gave up and quit at 10 o'clock, and she done messaged you at 10:30. And guess what? There's that order that could have helped you go over. So always play it to the end, but at the same time, you don't want to procrastinate and wait to the end. You do it early and get it done so that you don't have that last minute steps happening. What do you think in reference to procrastination, Ms. CEO?
Oh, I think procrastination is the work of the enemy. Listen, it's put in place to actually not help you, for you not to hit your goal. Because if we continue to procrastinate or put off, I can do it later, or I can do it, or I'll wait till next month, right? Guess what's going to happen next month? You're going to procrastinate again. And that's one thing about my team. I talk to them a lot about that, because I do have some procrastinators on my team, and I do fuss. I fuss at them all the time, because I'm like, if you would have not waited till the last minute to try to push for this goal, you had the whole month, right? You wouldn't be out here going crazy every month at the last week or the last 4 days, right? So I try to preach against procrastination, because that's put us on extra stress. It does, when it comes to what we do. That's added stress that we don't have to have, right? And then secondly, like I said, if you keep procrastinating, if you live a life like that, you're putting everything on hold. That's what procrastination is to me. You're putting your goals on hold. You're putting your dreams or your visions on hold. You're putting your why on hold. What you could be accomplishing, you're procrastinating, constantly putting it off. And sometimes it's because of fear. You know, a lot of people are scared of what they're walking into, or what could happen, or what if, you know, but what if it works? What if you win? What if you hit that goal? What if you accomplish? Switch that what if about from being a bad thing to being a good thing, right? So that's what I am. When it comes to procrastination, I just say don't do it. Don't do it.
You know, most people look at those obstacles of no, and you're just scared of rejection, scared of failure. Nobody likes to be rejected, but no is not to you personally. No is to the person that said it. They said it about themselves, not to you, but you planted a seed. And as long as you do the correct follow-up, sooner or later, that turns into a customer or rep. They're going to keep watching you. And some people don't trust you right at this point, because they know that you're not all in. You're still treating it like a hobby. You can't really fool too many people that know you. They say, well, she'll do it again. We'll give her 2 more weeks. She'll quit and get another one of them deals, one of them multi-level scam, Ponzi schemes, because you never stuck with anything. And so it's kind of like birthing a baby. I had the pleasure of watching both my daughters born. And I remember I went home, my wife said, we'd been married 13 months. She said, I don't know what it is about you ladies when y'all get mamahood on your mind. She said, I want a baby. I said, you do? I said, well, I'll take you to Walmart. They got all kinds of babies over there. And that was not popular. I didn't feel like I was ready to be a daddy. And anyway, she conceives, and Robin's not much bigger than she was in high school. and she started being very uncomfortable from the exciting part. She went through all the weeks and the trimesters, and then she had a major problem, had to go to bed for 8 weeks, feet in the air. Thought we was going to lose our first little girl, and all the stuff she went through. She could have easily tapped out and said, I don't quit. And the doctor said, you could think about abortion. And I said, I could think about killing you right here. That's what I can think about. We don't believe that in my family. We're going to fight. And my first little girl was born. But as soon as the baby was born, Ellen was born, the bundle of joy was laid into Robin's arms. She didn't think no more about the pain, all the stuff she went through, all that 9 months of just horrible, got big, just the thing in her back, whatever that was she had where she had to go to bed for 8 weeks, everything changed. So you cannot be ready to become a professional. You can't click on and watch all the YouTubes and videos. You have to get engaged in it. So this is where I come to play. Now the baby is born. Robin incurs a breast infection, very sick. And so daddy's taking care of little baby girl. But now it's our turn to grow as a family. We grow through all the little ups and late tonight, the colic, the ear infections, all the other stuff. And we grow till she's 1 and she's jerking stuff off the table, trying to learn to walk. And together we all grew into this thing as a family till now they're grown girls. But it's been a learning process through the whole, but we've enjoyed every minute of it. It was all we're growing. So get engaged in what you're doing. See, when you get engaged, it's like I remember putting that ring on Miss Lackey's finger and the excitement and everything, the crying, and I was excited, I was scared. But once you engage in something, that means I'm engaged, I am committed to the process. I'm going to be committed to the end. And when you marry this thing, this business, I am 100% all in. See, when I got to the island on this boat coming to Seymour, I burnt the boat. There ain't no way off of it. We're either going to starve to death or we're going to make it happen. And we worked at this 18, 20 hours every single day, working the time zones. No social media, telephone, ring-a-ling-a-ling, ring-a-ling-a-ling. I'll call you back. Conference calls. And man, we was every hour on the hour, conference calls around the clock, working those time zones. But we paid the price in 28 days to be able to, I didn't even know what I was doing. But I was excited about being home with my 2 little girls every single day. They'd come home from school. Talking about this, why? Down in my office, they'd come in mama's little silver tray. They had a little thing full of milk, little peanut butter sandwiches. We sit in the floor, my headset on. I was still talking. I was loving on my girls, having to do a little homework, having peanut butter sandwiches. And I saw my daughter's confidence start to grow. They started doing better in school. They got more confident in everything they were doing. You know why? Daddy's home. We have a full-time family now. We're here together. We are unified as a family going to the next level. And I thought, how good that feels. And the only reason my wife initially had insecurities is because she was listening to everybody else. My sisters, my mother, her mama, her sister. He's lost his mind. Because all they knew is what they had been programmed through school. Modern day slavery, get a job, sign a check, the 40, 40, 40. 40 hours a week for 40 years, the $40 gold watch. By the way, the watch ain't gold. I never seen nobody to retire with any dignity because they got a leash on your life. And when they wear you out, stress you out, and you fall over dead, they break the leash or they fire you nowadays because they just leasing your life. They're not buying you. They don't own you. They just want to lease you for a little bit. And what's most important to you is that 24 hours a day. See, the clock don't stop ticking. And you know, when you make up your mind, I'm not going to waste any more this time. See, if we could stop right now and we could all back say, hey, Jesus, hey, dude, I'm going to bring you 2 bars of gold if you take me back to I was 12 and know what I know now. Stop wasting your time. The clock is ticking. Every second it ticks off, you ain't got that no more. What did you do with it? Did you waste your time or did you invest your time? And when you make up your mind, I'm going to become a prolific investor. If you're broke in your banking account right now, I bet you this is because your time is all broke and messed up. You keep wasting your time living for the weekend, and therefore your checkbook, your banking account, and your investments, that all points toward, well, you just pissed your time away. You know what? None of us has got any time to waste. And when you make up your mind, we're going to go do this thing, I'm going to invest my time and I'm going to invest into people who want to go somewhere, and I'm going to quit dragging the ones that don't want to go anywhere. It's kind of like hiking. I'm from the mountains of Virginia. When you go up the mountain, you don't be taking 6 or 8 people on your back. You got to climb this thing together, because it's what you become in the process. Because the last time I was in the mountains riding my horses, There wasn't no elevators and there wasn't no escalators. We had to climb to the top of the mountain to saddle up. So what I'm telling you now, climb to the top of the mountain, saddle up, and let's go get it. Because I want to tell you, I've been telling you, it's like Noah building the ark, 120 years. The perfect storm in Networks Global is coming. I wish I could tell you right now. I want to. But in September, the perfect storm, we've been building this ark all these years. I told y'all the rain was coming. It ain't never rained a day on earth ever. And I could see Noah at 60 years. What is wrong with me, Sarah? Give me another biscuit. I'm gonna drink some more wine out the lambskin. Hey Noah, where's that rain? What are you talking about? Oh, you're still sowing the wood. Where them animals at? But when the perfect storm came, that thunder started, and here come the clouds, and all the animals, God had put them in 2 by 2s coming in the ark. He gave him the blueprint. So here's what I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna be done. The day your father's sperm hit your mother's egg was not an accident. You was nothing more than a fertilized egg going down your mother's fallopian tube, and God started tossing seeds of greatness. Here's your gifts, everything you need to go into this, birthed into a blueprint to go build your life. Free has no value, welfare don't work. It creates dependency, modern day slavery, but you're birthed into a blueprint. It don't matter what happened to you when you were from 3 seconds ago to the day you were born. You're on a Zoom tonight with some people that are hungry, and we family to go to the next level, and you already have everything you need. So the richest places on earth is the graveyard. Most people die with the lid on the box and the bow still on the box of those gifts he gave you to go out and make it happen, and you die with all that music still in you. The day I fall over dead, oh, I ain't gonna have any more music. I'm gonna fall over and I'm just be a cloud of dust. You're gonna float away. You know why? Because that's the way and God will bless those efforts to that level. And here's what happens. We are all governed by the law of reciprocity. If we come into your life and we help make some of consequence happen, it just reciprocates back in their life. And it always has to flow through you, not just to you. And see, that is God's law. And the more that he can trust you with, he'll flow through you, the more he's going to send to you. And remember this, you will always be blessed in direct proportion for the quality of efforts expended. Put a quality effort into helping somebody else go to the next level, like we do at Networks Global. I can't speak for the other companies. I ain't never done it. I'm a one guy deal, one woman, one company for the rest of my life. And when you make up your mind, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna serve other people, it is servant leadership. And I'm gonna challenge y'all, every one of you tonight. Tomorrow, I want you to do 3 random acts of kindness. It's nothing more than holding the door for somebody. Smile and mean it. And do something, if it's nothing, buy a cup of coffee for somebody and then give them a pack of coffee. You know, we're in the coffee business. With 3 random acts of kindness, see, here's what happens. They might not remember your name, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And that act of generosity will go thousands of miles down the road. You never know who you've impacted. This person will impact another person, all because you. You know what? You think God's going to bless that? You think, oh, well, they don't know. No. I gave a homeless person some money the other day, and the person that was with me in my truck, why did you do that? They probably going to buy crack. I said, I don't care what they do with that money. It was laid upon my heart to give them the money. Whatever they do with it, that's God laid it on my heart, whatever they do with it. But they're going to remember one thing. I said, I want you to have the best day ever. And I want you to go, you and her, I want you to go have something nice on me because I love you and you matter to me. And the little girls had tears running down her face. And what they did with them, I don't care what they did with him. That's not my job. My job was I felt led. I was compelled to give them some money. You know what? If that impacted that person, they probably never remember my name or see me again, but they're going to remember how they made me feel. And maybe one day when they're in a position, they'll find somebody else that needs somebody to show up at that right appointed time. And that random act of kindness will be donated forward. Do you think the law of reciprocity is going to kick back into our life and go through us again? Bet everything you own on it. You know why? Because that's God's law. It ain't mine. He's the man that's in control. He owns it all anyway. You can't outgive God. It's all his anyway. It's the effort you put into it to release all those blessings on you. The harder you work, the harder you go out and help somebody else go to the next level, the more blessings is coming your way. She said it to start with. It wasn't me. That's her. All right, I'm done.
I got one last thing for you in reference to giving a tip on recruitment for distributors. What would be a tip you give in reference to that, Miss CEO? I see you went moving forward.
No, I thought you were talking to Rusty. As far as recruiting, what I'm gonna tell people is when it comes to recruiting, be yourself. That's what works for me. Be yourself. You know, you just talk about the goodness or the greatness of what it works is doing for you. We always talk about telling our story. Not enough people are doing that, right? What has it done for you? How it's changed your life? Doesn't matter whether you've hit a rank or not about that. It's about your story. What have you done so far? If it's about the product, if it's changed your life, like Rusty talked about his health, right? If it's done something for your health, people need to know that. So you share that, but you got to share it with excitement. You know, don't be dry. You got to be excited about what you're sharing, because if you're not excited and you come to me with something, I don't want it. I don't want it, but I want the person to feel like, okay, if I don't have that, or if I'm not doing what she's doing, or I feel like you're left out. That's how I want people to feel, like they're being left out. So I just come at an approach. I'm loud. Y'all see it anyway. I'm loud in country. So I'm just loud in country when I talk to them. And I just let them know, listen, this is what you need to be doing. Listen, this is what's going on with me. And just share your story. You don't have to make up nothing. You don't have to be politically correct. You don't have to use correct English and all that. That's why I like It Works too, right? You can do all of that. Just be you, and people are attracted to you. Not so much about the company. People are attracted to you.
Exactly. I love that. Well, if you have any closing words, we are ready to wrap up. If you have anything you want to add for the last second, otherwise, I done got out everything I wanted, and I'm excited to end this month strong. What you got
Yeah.
for us?
Well, don't forget to tell them about that deal you and I put together this morning.
Oh. All right. So, Ponya, you have any closing remarks? Anything you want to close with?
I just want to say I thank you so much for, allowing me to be on here just to share my little story or whatever. I'm excited each and every time I get to talk about It Works, because it's really working. It's literally changing my life, my family's life. Like I said, keep in mind, people, one thing, not just about the money. Please remember your why and know that who you're connected to, because your why could set others free. It can help them break out. You can break generational curses. As Rusty said, do you want to be the first? I know that I do. Thank you guys again. Good night.
Yes, thank you so much for being on. And let me stop this recording real quick. I got one last thing to share.